Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, I rise today as well in support of the motion introduced by Senator Gerber to have the Senate officially recognize May the 25th as World Africa Day in Canada. It is a privilege to speak in favor of a colleague whose work reflects both conviction and generosity of spirit, who calls me her brother, and whose commitment to strengthening Canada's relationship with Africa is both timely and deeply important. From humble beginnings to a seat in this chamber, her story is reflective of her remarkable tenacity and drive. Senator Gerber has brought to this chamber not only knowledge, but lived experience and a perspective that enriches our understanding of the continent. When she speaks about Africa, she does so with clarity, with pride, and with a sincere desire to build bridges. She reflects the aspirations of those of us from the continent who have chosen to call Canada home. That is evident in this motion, which invites us to approach Canada-Africa relations with a greater seriousness, deep respect, and a more forward-looking vision. I also want to say how much I value the perspectives of our fellow colleagues from Africa, Senators Danielle Enkel and Farah Mohamed, and what you bring to our chamber. Your contributions are meaningful. Your presence is a reminder that this institution is stronger when it reflects the richness of our communities and cultures that make up our country. You bring insight, experience, and a real perspective that broadens our work in very real ways. It is interesting that the four of us who originate from the continent represent the north, east, west, and south of this magnificent part of the world, covering all bases, so to speak. I'm thankful for the friendship and initiative of our former colleague, Mobina Jaffa. She was a founding member of the African Canadian Senators Group and a very strong voice for the Africa-Canada relationship. I'm grateful for the work of the African Canadian Senator Group members who continue to build ties with the diaspora and have a firm love for the continent. I believe that this combination highlights Africa's rich demographic citizenry, which encompasses representation from a broad racial composition. For many of us, the relationship between Canada and Africa is not just a matter of trade and policy, it's a matter of people, of family histories, of community ties, and of shared aspirations. Across Canada and many of our own communities, we see the strength of African diaspora in business, in public service, in education, in the arts, and in civic life. Those contributions deserve recognition, and they remind us that our relationship already lives within this country. Our advocacy strengthens that bond. Senator Gerber's motion speaks to something practical and necessary. Africa is a continent of remarkable growth, innovation, and today, demographic momentum. Canada must approach that reality cautiously and not from a distance. We should approach it with purpose, with respect, and with confidence that comes from seeking a genuine partnership that has been absent for so long. And that means building relationships that are mutually beneficial and grounded in building long-term trust. At a time when the world feels often unsettled, I believe it's especially important to invest in partnerships that are principled and enduring. A stronger connection between Canada and Africa can serve our shared interests in peace, prosperity, education, trade, and human development. It can also help Canada foster stability and promote democracy that is so relevant in an ever-changing world. Colleagues, I thank my colleague Senator Gerber for bringing forward this motion and for the leadership that she continues to show in this chamber. I'm also grateful for the contributions of Senators Danielle Enkel, Farah Mohammed, our beloved Mobina Jaffer, and for all the example that they have set through their service. It is for all these reasons that I support this motion with deep conviction and respect. Thank you. Asante.